Yeah, let's move on to the Raiders. Everyone's sort of been freaking out about this Colton Miller pick. Raiders had the number 10 pick, traded down to number 15. By moving down, they were able to acquire Martavis Bryant through a few other deals, which is exciting pickup. Extremely talented, will add a huge deep threat. Also, he's big and tall, should help in the red zone. The only issue, sort of a character issues with the team. He wanted out of Pittsburgh, and he also only has 1 year left on his deal. So he could have a really good season and then leave, which would suck, but it's only a third-round pick. But let's stay with Colton Miller. The Denver Broncos, they drafted Bradley Chubb. They still have Von Miller. They still have Shane Ray. So you need to make sure your two tackle positions are solidified. Donald Penn, 35 years old, coming off foot surgery. So left tackle, sort of a question mark. Right tackle, been a question mark for the past few years. They got Colton Miller. Yeah, he's not maybe worth the pick at 15, but you got your value there. You got your right tackle position solidified this season. Maybe the left tackle of Penn can't come back fully healthy. You can move Colton Miller over, but he was the best offensive tackle available at that time. You already moved down. So it's a good pick, not a great pick, but it makes sense. You needed that need filled. You needed the tackle position. But where the draft gets really exciting for the Raiders is later, right? I mean, it's high value, high risk, high reward picks later on. Arden Key, defensive end, LSU, number 87 overall. Going into the 2018 season, he was the number 1 rated prospect by CBS Sports. He then had a shoulder injury, picked up some weight, started slow into the season, but then did pick it back up. 3.5 sacks last 4 games of the season. Moving down, Nick Nelson, cornerback from Wisconsin, another solid pick. Is injured with a meniscus tear, but he's a nice guy, could play the slot day 1. Number 9th rated cornerback, Pro Football Focus.
Nice guy. I mean, would you let him take your daughter out to dinner?
What kind of fun question is that? Nick Nelson, another great guy, but the highlight of the draft, Maurice Hurst, number 3 overall rated prospect. Out of any prospect by Pro Football Focus, Raiders got him at 140. So high value pick there. He has a heart condition. Only issue, Raiders checked it out. Hurst, all the doctors said he's good to go. Should be ready to go day 1. But he also fills in a major need for the Oakland Raiders. They have not had an inside presence, an inside pass rusher that can create pressure up the middle. That's what you need to beat top quarterbacks, to beat Tom Brady, to free up Khalil Mack, to free up Bruce Irvin, Arden Key, Mario Edwards Jr., whoever. You now have that inside presence. Absolutely amazing pick. The Raiders also later in the day picked up fellow Tar Heel Ryan Switzer. They traded Jihad Ward. He was going to be cut anyways, so you got a very good slot receiver and a special teams player. So the Raiders, I really like the draft. It's high risk, high reward. There's a lot of things that could go wrong, but there's a hell of a lot that can go right, especially with those late picks. You have to be excited. The potential is through the roof. And those late picks is how you win Super Bowls. You get cheap guys, you get value guys where you don't have to pay them, and they have their rookie contract for 4 years. So
I think everyone's just unnecessarily crapping themselves over the Raiders draft. I mean, NFL.com gave them a C, but honestly, they did well with what they could, and they made a lot of deep, solid outside moves. Ryan Switzer, a good slot receiver, and Martavis Bryant, as you said. So I think it's unnecessary. Colton Miller's definitely a project, but he has the potential. So I think, honestly, the Raiders didn't do a bad job with this draft.